Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. LiveAllGood.com, and that's at our health and life coach and friend, Lee Grigsby's here to show us the way, especially right before the new year. Lee, welcome back to the show today. How are you?
Absolutely. Hey, Jill, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm okay.
Hey, you know what? That is your win. That's the positive thing. That's how we start.
Yes, good. Part of my win is that I'm sick, but I'm not too sick not to work, not to take care of the family and do holiday
That's
things.
right.
It's not COVID, so that's good. I got the booster, so
Love
I'm a
it.
little but okay, I'm good. How are
Hey, but
you?
I am doing fantastic, actually. Happy last podcast before 2022.
Woohoo!
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, last one before 2022.
Wow.
And hopefully everybody is finding some time to enjoy the holidays, whatever that means, even if it's a few minutes here and there. Hopefully folks have been able to enjoy that for sure.
Good. Well, what are you winning with? How we start this?
That's right. That's right. So I love your win because hey, you know what? You're here. You're not quite feeling great, but you are pushing through. That's a win.
Hydrating. Yeah. Hey.
I love it. I love it.
Good. Good. What about you, darling?
You know what? So my wins for the week, it really was like a good Christmas.
Okay.
We just kind of chilled, and I was able to make. So I want to tell a quick story about a great win. Long time ago, well, not long time ago, but my dad used to make buttermilk pancakes, right?
Yeah.
And all the family, like everybody would come over, or whenever they'd come up to visit, oh, please make the pancakes, right?
Yeah.
So he passed away in 2016, and I was a little concerned because I couldn't find the recipe. Found the recipe, so I started making it again. Come to find out, it was actually his mother, my nana's recipe.
Okay.
So this is like a generational recipe, right? I believe I'm the only one who has it. So everybody was worried that it was lost. Anyhow, the best win for this Christmas, right? I've used all types of different buttermilk, that kind of thing. This Christmas, I got the freshest buttermilk from like a dairy farmer. The buttermilk was so thick it was like yogurt. It was fresh, it was amazing. The pancakes turned out almost exactly like when my dad had made them. Oh my gosh, they were like super fluffy. I actually was flipping them, like I cooked them perfectly. So that was a huge win. Like everything else was just a bonus after that.
Do you add butter on top of the buttermilk pancakes?
Oh, of course.
Okay, good.
So you want to know the secret to this recipe? Like I do try to eat a lot healthier, right? I try to eat as many vegetables. I'm not a vegetarian, but I don't eat a whole lot of meat and that kind of thing. This recipe calls for bacon grease, not turkey bacon, not
the
beef bacon,
or
pork bacon. Oh yeah.
So you're having the bacon with the pancakes, and you're using the juice and not putting it to waste.
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Awesome.
I'll have to use that next time, using the juice.
Yep, using the juice.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, so that was a huge win because I've made these before, right? And sometimes you have to have fresh ingredients, right? You got to have fresh flour, fresh buttermilk, eggs, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But the buttermilk makes the difference. And so a lot of stores don't really sell buttermilk. So I was so happy that, there's a dairy farm that's close by, a farmer's market, and they sell, and they were like, "Ooh, this is going to make great pancakes." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I've been here before to get the buttermilk." So, folks, that was a huge win because it just like set the day, right? And then we finished off the pancakes for dinner. So
I love plain pancakes. Some people put like the chocolate, like chips and the banana. Are you into that and the fruit? I'm like, no.
I've done it. I've done it, but no, like these by themselves, it's oh my gosh. But yeah, they were fantastic. I have to share the recipe with you sometime.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
How about you come cook it and ship them, freeze dry them? Maybe you can start a business, start your own pancakes.
There you go. Well, when all this is over, what we'll do is we'll have our families together and I'll fix them for you and your
Great.
kids. How
Thank you
about that?
so much. I appreciate that, Lee. Awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what, Jill? I definitely want to get into something as we head into 2022, right?
We are here.
Yeah, I know, man, like right around the corner.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about this because I was thinking about some things that I want to do for my business and for myself.
Mhm.
So I have a question for you. What are goals? Like, how do you define them? And again,
Okay.
not a trick question, but I do have an answer, but I just want to hear how you define goals.
That's a good question. I like being put on the spot. Goals. I don't know if I'm wrong or right. It doesn't matter. Okay,
It
so
doesn't matter.
goals.
Hmm.
A goal is something that you have in your head that you're manifesting, something that you really want, you desire, you yearn for, you see yourself accomplishing. It could be tangible, it could be physical, it could be, so there's so many different ways. So it's something that you desire and
Okay.
aspire. It could be something or it could be mentally, but it's a place
Sure.
where you want to go. It's like going up the mountain. You want to get somewhere. And when you get there, you're going to feel great, or at least you think you're going to feel great. I think
Yes.
once you get to the goal, you want another goal, but that's okay. You have
I
to have
love
many
it.
goals to get to the goal. So a goal is something that
Mhm.
you desire to,
Perfect. Yeah.
it's in my face. It's like
No, that's
goal.
and that's a perfect description. And
Okay.
when you said it, like I could feel that, right? Because it's something that you feel. So I want to define goals by two things, right? It's wishes and dreams with action. That's what a
Okay.
goal is, right? A wish or a dream with action. Because without
Okay.
the action, you don't achieve that wish or the goal.
True.
You see?
Yeah.
So I'll get into more details about how to turn the goals, right? How to
Mhm.
turn the into action. But that's an important thing because how many times do people say, "Oh, I wish I could do that," or "You have a great dream," right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes like I have these really big ideas and I don't write them down, then I forget about it, or what's been happening lately, this ongoing now has become a goal, but I've talked to people about it. And the more I talk about it, the more it starts to fold and come into real vision. Right. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, the more I talk about it, the more I see it. And the more I see it. So let's get into how to turn your wishes and dreams into that goal. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
What is and I'm not putting you on the spot
Oh,
again. So
you can, but it's all right. Go ahead. So
I do frequently, so I'm sorry.
it's all
But
right.
what's one step that you think you need for a goal?
I, my personally, I have to write it down. I have to look at it.
Yes.
I'm
And you know
visual.
that
So everyone's
so
different, but I'm visual. Yeah.
writing it down means a plan.
Correct. A plan. You're right.
Yes. So that's one step that you need, right? And that plan, it cannot be the plan can't just be generic, right? It can't say I'm going
Specific.
to do X, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you write it down, but then the bigger your goal is, guess what? Smaller
Little
steps.
baby steps. Like I want to be a
Absolutely.
pilot. Okay, you want to be a
Yes,
pilot. So I need to find the training school. I need to do all the requirements. I need to do.
that's
I
right.
get it. Okay.
Or I start with the research, right? Let me
Yeah.
research schools,
Hmm.
even small things, right?
Yeah.
So you get a plan together. And it doesn't matter how many steps are in your plan, it becomes, like you said, visual, right? You can see it. So the more things you start to check off of your plan, that's how you know you're getting closer to that goal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, also, just a quick side note with that, you can be flexible about your plan, but do not be flexible about your goal. So it doesn't matter how you get there, right? Very rarely is it a straight line. Very rarely is a straight line. It's zigzags, it's ups and downs. Do not be flexible about your goal. Be
Okay.
flexible about the plan. Okay. Because most people, if they're not flexible about the
Uh-huh.
plan, so let's say you get to step three on your plan, whatever that plan is, and step three doesn't happen. or it changes, or there's some roadblocks in your way, then people are like, I don't know, what am I going to do? Right.
Okay.
Or now I'm going to quit. Or, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have this goal. Right. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Not the case. Be flexible with your plan. So maybe step 3 becomes step 3A, B, C, however you got to achieve step 3. It's okay. Doesn't matter. So, what is another thing you think you need to achieve your goals?
Well, the research, the preparation, the
What was it? Yep, we started with the plan.
okay, the plan, the
I'll give you a hint. It's kind of related to the dreams, but you have to.
the mental capacity, the mental
Sure.
want, the desire, the focus, the
vision.
vision.
Yes. I saw it. I could see
looks
it.
like,
Yes.
is like, I'm like, I'm on a game show.
We're playing charades.
That's it.
First,
That's
no,
it. Yeah.
So yes, you got to have a vision,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love what you said about the mental capacity, because there's an exercise that I take clients through near the end of our program, right?
Mhm.
Whenever they sign up with me, it's a 90-day program. Whenever we start getting to that last third, it's called a mental rehearsal.
Okay.
So I don't really have time today to go through it, right? But the mental rehearsal, you've heard of athletes talking about visualization,
Mhm.
right? Like they can see themselves on the course or shooting the shot, whatever that is. A mental rehearsal is actually putting yourself in that future self.
Got it.
So it's more than visualization. You actually turn the dial up and you tune in to your senses in the future, right? So whatever your goals, you start imagining and envisioning, what does it look like?
Okay.
Who do I see?
Okay.
What are the things that I hear? Even smells, right? What do I smell? This is all future, because you know what? You've already planted the seed once you have this mental rehearsal. So once you have this mental rehearsal and you really have a clear vision of this goal, then you can start applying those things in the now. Okay. So that's what vision is. That's what this mental rehearsal is all about.
Okay.
It really is. It's difficult to explain, but like literally putting yourself in this future self that you see, right?
Mhm.
It's amazingly powerful once you dial into that, you know?
Got it.
And I promise you, I will share this big goal that I'm talking about. I'll share it with you because think I think it'd be special actually for you. So one more step, and this will be a difficult one, so I won't ask you to guess.
All right. Go ahead.
But the next step that I want to talk about with goals. So we've talked about you got to have a plan, you got to have vision. The third one is anchors. Now I think we've talked about anchors before, but we're not talking about an anchor like a ship anchor. we don't want to drag something.
I got that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But an anchor is something physical, or
Mm-hmm.
it may not be physical, but it could be like a song or a
Okay.
certain smell of something. But it's what reminds you of what you're doing, right? So when you get sidetracked, when you get distracted, when you get deflated or depressed,
Mhm.
this anchor is going to remind you of what you're doing and why you're doing it. Anchors are important. So a lot of times for me, what I use, and I was thinking about this morning. I went to Home Depot because I'm doing some projects around the house, but
Love Home
I was
Depot.
listening to the radio, and a lot of times people are going to say, "Okay, yeah, Lee, we get it." I was listening to an old school music channel, LL Cool J, I think, on Sirius XM. And for some reason, man, like I love old school gangster rap. Like that puts me in a certain mood. You know what I mean? It
Makes
got
you feel
me,
good,
yeah,
jiving, grooving.
yeah, absolutely. And then I was like, oh, I feel super productive. And then before you know it, like I have 3 of these projects already completed just today,
Beautiful.
you
Yeah.
know? there's other times when, and so folks, music is a really big anchor for me, right?
Okay.
Even when I feel like I need to just kind of let go, relax, I'll play a different type of playlist. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Something that I don't necessarily listen to the lyrics, but
Yeah.
just background music, calming, that kind of thing. That's another anchor. That's reminding me of
Oh,
that goal to just be easy, relax, you know? So I want to ask you about an anchor, right? Do you have any anchors? Or if you don't, maybe you do and didn't realize it was an anchor. So what can you think of that might be an anchor for you?
what do you think?
Uh-oh. I
Oh,
did it on the spot again.
no, no, no. I see. I think it's so bad what I'm going to say, but it's totally random. But when I hear the word anchor, I don't like anchor because I have an issue with anchor. Why? Because it's pre,
Mm.
because the stuff we talked
Mm.
about, like, because I was told my ex-boyfriend's mother once I have if you date her, she has kids. It's like, yeah, yeah, yes.
I see where you're going with it.
You
Gotcha.
get it? So the word anchor bothers me. Even, look, also a licensed U.S. Coast Guard captain, so I know how to operate boats and I anchor that way. Fine. So when I think
So,
anchor,
so we talked all around anchor, and we
y-
triggered some
but
things
you
for you.
trigger,
Got it.
yes, triggers. So sorry about that. But
No, no
anchors.
worries.
So
So
yeah, it's
see,
not
we can
horrible. We
we
got to
can redo.
reprogram,
That's
redirect
right.
the
We can
positive.
redefine what anchor is for you. So instead of thinking it in those terms, a great anchor for you, I imagine, would be your kids,
Keep
you
you.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'd be willing to bet everything you do. And the reason you do it is for them.
Absolutely. Most parents would say the same thing. Unfortunately, not
I
all, but most. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
most
Of
would.
course. Same with you. Yes. All right. Good.
Absolutely.
So I use
So
my
yeah,
negative connotation for the anchor that was told about them, which is
sure.
really, you're right. They aren't. Yes.
There
Yes.
that is a great anchor, right?
Yeah.
Do you have pictures of them like on your phone or somewhere, right?
Of course.
That's probably your wallpaper, you know? Yeah.
Not
So
on the desk, but they're in my phone and they're, yeah. Yes.
that is going to remind you, right? If I know we've talked about like, you work two jobs and sometimes you work way late, this and
I
that.
didn't work the other job today because I was sick, but yes. But
Okay, so when
yes.
you do, right,
Oh
and you're
my.
tired, but I remember a couple weeks ago we were doing an episode, and you're like, "Oh man, my win was that I think it was before the breakfast with Santa. It was something that you had to get up for, and you only got a couple hours of sleep, but it was the memory that your kids got, right?
Yeah, it was probably a
That
breakfast.
is,
There's a few of them, so we did two
yeah,
breakfasts
yeah.
with
So
Santa, so
man,
it might have been the first. Yes.
but that's a beautiful anchor, you
Oh,
know.
yeah,
That's
it
why
is.
you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
So I
right.
mean, and I'm sure there are many others, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be, maybe music is also an anchor for you. I don't know, you know,
My
maybe like
country
if you go to work
music.
out, there you
Driving. I
go.
don't driving in the car by
Hmm.
myself, which is a rarity. That's why I like working the second job in the middle of the night because it's the
You
only
get
time
to
I have
kind
alone.
of,
Much as I
yeah,
love my
sure.
kids, yeah, but so I turn on my country music, and country music is makes me feel so happy. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, who is your favorite country music artist?
It's funny you said that. I have a friend. I have a few country music friends, right?
Oh, oh
And if
wow. Okay.
I'm going to say, I'll say Kenny Chesney because he's my friend. So I love his music. I love his work, but he's also my
Oh,
friend. But I do like new age country, not the old
sure.
school
Not,
stuff compared to.
okay.
But I mean, everyone from Luke Bryan, from Carrie Underwood to even Taylor Swift. A lot of them are just like crossover like now. So it's
Sure.
like
Sure.
becoming. But Sam Hunt, I just love country.
And it has nothing to do with Kenny Chesney being a good-looking guy or anything
No,
like
see,
that.
I used
No.
to, I, I used to, when I was an entertainment anchor, I would interview him at
Mhm.
my old TV station. We became friends. And then I also had a
Sure.
condo in Nashville for 10 years. And
Oh,
then,
nice.
so my goal was to live there, to move there. I rented it out, never worked out. Then I
Yeah.
had to sell it when my mom got sick and I lost my job. But so,
Yep.
and Nashville is just true to my heart. My son's godfather lives in Nashville. I just,
So
that's a
you've
place
got country music roots. I
like
love
I
it. That
do. I mean, Long Island gal, and people are like, what country? What?
yeah, right,
But I'm
right.
more of a country gal, even though people think, oh, you're in the city. I'm like, I work in the
See,
city.
so
Oh, hell
country
no.
music is another anchor for
Yeah.
you. You see how we're
Yeah.
turning that around, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got two seriously positive, um, you know, mindful anchors that can easily wipe away
Yeah.
the old definition of
You're
anchor
right.
for you.
Sure.
I love
You're
that.
right. Good. Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Thank you for your help.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
That's how that works, right? Because now those things, every time you're going to listen to country music, every
Mhm.
time you're thinking about your kids, or you're again scrolling through your phone and you look at you're like, oh yeah, that's right. You know, that's another reason. It's another thing that helps you achieve that goal.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
that's how it works. And like literally, I want to go back to the plan, right? The small steps. So you may not know the outcome, right? Like say your goal is here. You've come up with your plan, you've got your vision, you've got your
Vision.
anchors, but you may not, your plan sometimes might be incomplete, right? That's okay. You do not need to know all the steps how to get to that goal because maybe you only are aware of the first 5 steps,
Yeah.
right? So as you're working on those steps,
Learning. Yeah.
the rest of them will reveal them when you're ready. When you're ready. So based on that, I want to share this.
Sure.
I have a huge. I've had this dream. I don't even know where it came from, right? But it's probably partly being a coach. I love being able to be in service of people. And so one of these goals is like, there's plenty of places and organizations that offer like mental health services.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places that offer services for single mothers, right?
Mhm.
Getting out of, I call it toxic relationships, but dangerous ones, right?
Yeah.
Looking to rebuild, looking to make it a safe life, right, for their kids. There's many other organizations that offer like financial literacy, all these things to people, but they're all kind of separate, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What I want to do, and I'm putting it out here, I want to have a brick and mortar facility for transitional housing, whether it's for, single moms with kids looking to get back on their feet, homeless people who want to get back on their feet, right?
Mhm.
So part of this brick and mortar structure will be transitional housing.
Okay.
And in order to be in this housing, you have to be part of the community, which means you got to kick in, right?
Yeah.
The other part of this brick and mortar is going to be some kind of restaurant, cafe, like I don't really know, but that's going to be
Great.
self-sustaining for the brick and mortar, right? And now we're talking about, oh, let's connect to farmers. So now you're talking farm to table, but these are all tangible skills, right? Front of house, back of house for a restaurant, all kinds of managerial skills.
Wow.
So that's what I mean by being part of the community, right? If you're part of this transitional housing, there will be something for you to do. And
Awesome.
so that's part of it. I, this has been forming more and more the more I talk about it.
Great.
The reason I share it is because it started off as a dream. I didn't even know any steps on how to start this, right? But now I started thinking, okay, well, I can't, and obviously you can't do everything alone. You always need help. So now I started thinking about let me get in front of any what is called venture philanthropists. A venture philanthropist is pretty much the same thing as a venture capitalist,
Mhm.
except venture capitalists, they invest in businesses,
Okay.
right? They have a stake
Yeah.
in the business. Venture philanthropists invest their funds for social impact. So if my goal, I believe this creates a huge social impact that helps people. That's why I want to partner with venture philanthropists because
Yeah.
I also realize, okay, if I want to do this alone and all on my own budget, that's going to take
Oh.
forever.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm not made of money,
Yeah.
right? But there are so many people, so many organizations, so many foundations that want to invest in and help social change and
Wow.
impact.
Mhm.
So I shared that, and this is becoming a reality, right? The
Great.
more I talk about it, the more I got my plan. You can hear I've got my vision,
Clearly. And
And
for
now
those
I'm
of you
just
listening, I'm watching him too on the live Zoom, and he's passionate about this one.
and I'm
Really
working on the steps. I'm
good.
working on the steps. And so I want to make sure everybody understands it starts off as a wish or
Yeah.
a dream.
Hmm.
But in order for it to be a goal, and you may not know how you're going to get there. Jill, right now, this day, I can't tell you how I'm going to get there. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I have no
Yeah.
idea. But I gave myself 10
Hmm.
years to start the first one
Yeah.
because what I want to do is after I get the first one
Hmm.
is duplicate this process in different communities across the country. Wouldn't that be something if you could
Wow.
go to one place
Yes.
and be able to have these different services met
Hmm.
and you could trust the people that are there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You don't feel like someone's trying to take my money. You don't feel like, oh, I'm just a number, all of that, you know?
Hmm.
Because isn't that what we all kind of want? We want to be part of something. We want to belong. We want to know that we're valued, right?
Yeah.
That's what this would provide also, not just for the people who are in the transitional housing or part of, again, the, like I said, restaurant, cafe. I don't even know. It may turn into something different. I have no idea, right? But everybody's going to have ownership of this. And if you don't want ownership of it, then maybe this is not for you because there's going to be stipulations, right? You
Yeah.
got to, but in order to be a productive part of this community, yeah, you got to kick in because it's going to take everybody.
Kind of reminds me of a little bit like I don't know if it's called the Food Kitchen. It's Bon Jovi
Yes,
does
I've
it in
heard of.
Red Bank in New Jersey. I was there for the grand opening a few years
Hmm.
ago, and it's kind of like that. Similar, I'm
Yes,
thinking a little,
but,
but which
but you're right. It's very similar, but that's just like that is
that's
one aspect.
yeah.
You see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what if all these things? Because
Oh,
there's something similar that happens in New York. I might be, I forget which borough it is, but it's oh, and I forget the people who did it. I looked them up. They're on my list of people to contact, as a
okay,
matter of
good.
fact. But what they do is they have this refrigerator, the barrio, I think it is. They
Okay.
have a refrigerator on the corner so that these underserved neighborhoods can get fresh fruits and vegetables. So
Wow.
they partner with different supermarkets
Yeah.
and volunteers stock it, and then people go and get the fresh fruits and
Oh,
vegetables.
wow.
So that's one aspect, right? Well,
Yeah.
again, this brick and mortar that I'm talking about, what if that was there too? You see,
That's great.
everything all in one place.
Absolutely.
Everything all in one place. Absolutely. That it's not just a dream anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just a
It's
goal. It will happen. That I
beautiful.
tell you.
I love it. I love it. That positive thinking and your mindset, and you're going there step by step. You're doing your research. You got to do the research for the one
Absolutely.
in the borough. Awesome. Lee, congrats.
Yeah,
That's a great, good. Thank you. And
absolutely.
this is important because other people out there listening who may have a goal, New Year's here, there's a lot we want, but
Hmm.
we don't know how to get there. We could use your coaching and guidance. Explain to us
Yes.
before we go how
Yes.
that kind of works, if you don't mind. We have like a minute
Sure.
and a half left.
Oh, oh,
Go ahead.
sure. So the way that you can I'll tell you how you can get in touch with me and then kind
Okay.
of what a program looks like.
Sure.
So you can go to liveallgood.com and find out what my coaching philosophy is about, inevitable success. You can also find me on social media, Live All Good Coaching. That's Facebook and Instagram, or you can find me at Lee Grigsby. We typically have a discovery session. Once we have that discovery session and kind of map out a goal or two, then we see if we're a good fit, which typically we are.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go ahead and sign up for a 90-day program.
Okay.
We work on awareness of what actions are serving you or not serving you with that goal.
Great.
Then we work on anchoring in that goal so that you can have the actions that serve you for it. Then we work on how to apply those actions for that goal. That's how it
Awesome.
works.
Great.
Yeah. You can also email me, liveallgood44@gmail.com. And you can also call at 202-455-6104 or
Perfect.
text.
LiveAllGood.com.
Absolutely.
Lee, Happy New Year to you. Thank you for being here and occupying space with us. And thank you for
Yes,
going over things for us and helping me change my
absolutely.
mindset on certain things too.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Happy
Has
New
no
Year,
meaning.
Jill.
Happy New Year, sweetheart.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.